Alright, hello. Today's video journal day 113. Today hasn't been too bad. Streaming was fun, but I learned some things from it. That's all I'll say so far. I so I tried to play this Pokemon game called Pokemon Sheen Red. It was a ROM hack, so like a fan game, because I wanted to do shinies. I wanted to have like shiny Pokemon in it, and that fan game allowed for that. So that's what I did. But then the issue I ran into is I'm pretty sure I actually did find the shiny, but it was only on the it just nothing worked out like I wanted it to with that game. Like it's hard to explain it because so for those who aren't familiar, like with the start of a Pokemon game, you go to like usually the professor's lab, and they give you like your starter Pokemon. And I was planning on shiny hunting the starter. And so on the starter screen, it showed that it was shiny, but then I actually had it in my party and it wasn't. And so I was like, well, if this game is going to be unreliable, then I don't want to keep playing an unreliable game because that's just not good at all. I need to have a reliable game. So now I'm doing it with regular red, and it's kind of a like convoluted. It's a really different shiny hunting method because they didn't have shinies in the game in the original Pokemon Red. So you have to like look at like a stat screen and interpret the data and that sort of stuff. It's a lot. It's my first time doing that kind of hunt, so it's going to be really interesting, but I think they're going to be longer hunts now because of that. But that's okay. My my goal is to kind of not have them be too long, but it'll be a fun new experience, so that's okay. So I've really started to see the difference between like I think there's like two like main different types of conversation. And right now what I'm having is a more personal what's the right word for this? It's like more personal, more organized, more it is like I'm kind of talking to myself. I'm talking to myself right now. Like that's what I'm doing. And then I'm sharing what I'm saying to myself with other people. The issue that I was running into with streaming is that I'm not used to this kind of talking just yet. And so I had a hard time keeping an interesting conversation because I'm not the type of guy who normally starts conversations with others. I've been very lucky to have had good friends who have started conversations with me because if they didn't, I don't think I would have very many, if any, friends. So, yeah. The issue with that I've been facing is I've always had just like kind of a struggle with communication. And what I'm starting to really see is that when I'm talking to people and I'm having conversation, I I kind of ping back on them. Like they say something and I'm just like, yeah, uh-huh, yeah, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Like I don't add to the conversation. I don't output much substance into the conversation. And that's a big issue that I'm seeing because I haven't been doing that my whole life, and now that I'm doing streaming, I am just outputting. I have to output, output, output. That's what I'm doing right now. But and I know that it's probably hard for you all to see that because you're seeing my few minute videos and You're like, oh, well, he's talking and he's has substance to this conversation right now. Yes, but this is after an hour of introspection and then 15 minutes writing in a journal, planning out what I'm about to say. I can't plan out what I'm about to say when I'm live streaming. That's just not how live streaming works. So I have to figure out how to keep conversations with substance while also not having those conversations planned out. Because that just I can't plan out the conversations I'm about to have because I'm playing a video game and like lots of different things can be happening. But then again, like I can also talk about like my personal life too, but I don't know, like I'm just having when I'm when I sit down and do a stream, the biggest hurdle that I'm seeing with conversation is like I'm just like I don't know what to talk about. Like what topic do I talk about? I have a hard time like narrowing down and choosing a topic to talk about. And then the issue is like I got to do that for 6 hours because I streamed it for that long. So it's like it's it's a lot. It's a lot of talking for me that I'm not used to doing just yet. So I wanted to do this little exercise where I tell a story about my day because I don't really talk about my day. So I'm gonna try to talk about my day in like kind of a story format. So I got up this morning. I think it was like around 9:40, 9:50ish. I set my alarm for 10:50, I think it was. So I was like really happy because I was like, yes, I get to sleep a little. Isn't it awesome when you wake up before your alarm? Because then it's like you think you have to get up, but then you realize you don't, and it's like that really awesome feeling of I can just lay here for a little bit longer. So I had that this morning, and then when I get up, the first thing my mom tells me is that tomorrow there's going to be a roofer coming. It's like, oh, okay. I wasn't really planning for that because I'm supposed to stream tomorrow, but you're kind of putting a wrench in my plans because you didn't tell me that until today. I I tried to be as respectful as I could. I honestly didn't say very much because I was just a little upset that I wasn't told sooner. But luckily for me, she did end up calling the guy or text. I don't know. She got in contact with the guy, and they rescheduled it for Monday and Tuesday, I believe. And so those are the days I won't stream. So that's awesome. But anyways, after that, I I ate some pizza. No, wait, no. I had raviolis. Sorry, raviolis. I had raviolis, and then after a while, I think I was. What was I doing before stream? I think I was just kind of getting everything set up. So I set up for stream, and I'm streaming, and streaming is pretty cool. Bro, what am I saying? So I'm streaming, and my goal is to play Sheen Red, like I said earlier. So I'm playing Sheen Red, and my my room starts shaking. My monitors, and I hear like a big boom. And so I'm wondering like what the heck that even is. But I kind of got to continue streaming because I'm streaming. So I just kind of don't worry about it. And then after that, I think, oh, not too long after that, I get the weird shiny. I don't know what happened with that game. I really don't. I got that. I was super excited because I was like, I only got it in 74 encounters, which is like super rare. That's a 1 in 8,192 chance to find them. And I got it in 74, so I was really happy. But then I checked the stat screen and it's not shiny anymore. And I'm like, why was it shiny on the professor in Oak's Professor Oak's lab, but not when it's in my inventory, my party? I was so annoyed. And so that's when I realized, like, okay, I have to do a different game because the one that I'm doing is not reliable. And on top of that, some of the sprites were like really weird. Like they were kind of glitching out. Like they'd be different, like glitchy looking sprites every time. And then every once in a while, you'd get like a regular sprite. So I was like, okay, that's weird. So yeah, that game just had a few problems. I'm not sure why. It totally could have been something on my end, but I just went with regular vanilla red. And now this time, I'm going to have to check the stats of each Pokemon. So I'll show you my shiny hunting layout real quick. So they need to have specific DVs, which are like DVs are like the individual like stats, not the not the individual stat. They like modify the stats. I'm trying to say this in like a easy to understand way. They're like modifiers for the stats that, depending on how high your DV or low your DV is, the higher the DV, the better, because your stats in the game are going to be higher, but the lower the DV, the worse, because your Pokemon stats are going to be lower. And so I have to look. But the way Gen 1 works is that with shininess, you can transfer it up to the new games, and depending on the DVs, it will be shiny in the newer games, even though it wasn't shiny in the original games. I don't know if anything this is making sense. I really hope it is. But anyway, these are the exact stats that I have to like look for. So, and it's a 1 in 8,192 chance to find those exact stats. I'm going to be playing 2 games at once. And I'm going to be like software setting it over and over and over and over again until I finally find the right stat spread that will generate a shiny for me. And since communication is something I'm going to work on, I have actually decided to change my ending message again. I know I recently changed it, but I want to change it to I am a conversational provider because I need to provide more. Yeah.